On Friday of this week, students who have completed Year 12 will receive their Australian Tertiary Admission rank, ATA. In the lead-up, we decided to speak to 3 women about their most nightmarish HSC horror stories. At school, modern history was always my favourite subject. In Year 12, I studied really hard and remember having hundreds of notes sprawled across my bedroom floor. The night before, I felt confident there wasn't any question that could really surprise me. I'd never been more prepared for anything in my life. I woke up that morning full of adrenaline, and read over my notes on the bus. Listen, what really happens on school is. Post continues below. Once we got into the exam hall, the examiner announced it was reading time, and I eagerly opened the paper. My jaw dropped. I realized something had gone horribly wrong. Not one thing on that exam was something we'd learned that year. The subject was a war I'd read up on a few weeks earlier, but had no detailed knowledge of. I winged it and did my best. I got 60% after being a straight A student since Year 7. It turns out our teacher, who used to run out of class crying a lot, had taught us the wrong curriculum. I still get nightmares a decade later. English was my best subject at school, and I'd worked hard all year to get my ranking up as high as possible. I think I was ranked 2nd in the year when I walked into the advanced English exam. I was insanely nervous before the exam began. I hadn't slept the night before, my hands were shaking and I felt sick in my stomach. It wasn't the level of panic I was used to. We had 3 essays to complete, and I'd worked out what order I'd do them in during my preparation. Anyway, I sat down and the first question stumped me. It's okay, I told myself, just move on to the next one, and come back to it. So, that's what I did. I wrote my second essay, and then my third. I remember looking at the clock and thinking, oh wow, I have so much more time than I expected. When we put our pens down, I felt incredible. I'd written more pages than I ever had while studying, and was confident with what I'd argued. I looked over to my friend and did a thumbs up. When we walked out, she looked completely defeated. I didn't understand the first question at all, she said. I just waffled for like 4 pages. Wait? What question? I asked, as I felt my stomach drop. As she described it, it dawned on me I'd never come back to that question. I had only done 2 of the 3 essays. I went home and cried for days. It was ridiculous. I look back on it now and it was so inconsequential, but at the time I honestly believed it was the worst thing that had ever happened to me. I'd been with my boyfriend Jared for 2 years when my HSC exams rolled around. He was my first love, and I spent every weekend with him. About a week before exams started, one of his friends had a massive party, and my mum wouldn't let me go. That whole night as I was sitting at home I just felt super uneasy, like something bad was about to happen. He called me the next morning and everything was fine, and that thought just left my mind.